You know, sometimes like recording games and stuff can be very annoying. Sometimes it's the game's fault. Other times I think it's OBS. Not sure which one happened this time, but whatever. I'll note that basically, like, you know, I've been like, you know, watching like, you know, the game unfold since like that last save point where Gaul basically taken northern Italy. And some interesting things basically happen, like, you know, after that, of course. Basically, you'll see, like, you know, from like this like sort of save here, Gaul's basically collapsed, and like, you know, the Spanish and the British basically start fighting it out. At the same time, the British are also going after Germanians, who sort of like pushed over to sort of like hit the Scythians, as well as like, you know, go after the Amazonians, of course. The Scythians were basically wiped out by like a combination attack of like, you know, Pontus, Parthians, Dacians, and Scythians. Thrace got wiped out by the Macedonians, and they also wiped out the Greeks from like, you know, Greece as well. Egypt basically went to like, you know, help out Pontus and Parthia in taking out the Seleucid Empire. And then, of course, like, Numidia actually took Carthage and Vapsus, so there's that too. All this lovely stuff that, like, you know, I won't be showing you because the recording didn't happen, unfortunately. But I will, like, show you the map, like, you know, how it basically looked. Prior to, like, you know, me, like, basically stopping after, like, a half hour of, like, you know, recording stuff. And yes, it still takes a long time to basically load up the like, campaign sometimes. Always a fun thing about this game for some reason. I'm not sure there's really much more to say, by the way, but, well, you can look at stuff here, I guess. So yeah, we have a very big Parthia over here. Very big Pontus. I'll note that Egypt's basically under attack by like, you know, the Pontus right now, so that's happening too. Another thing to note, by the way, as well. Gaul over here. Basically, they got like 3 summons still, but, they're actually right now, let's just see here. They're currently allied to both Spain as well as, like, you know, Germania. But you'll note that basically for Spain here, Gaul's actually their protectorate, so they actually, like, you know, were reduced back to, like, to Segesta over here. But they basically survived long enough that, like, you know, Spain came over and said, like, hey, you want to basically have your settlement back and be our protectorate? And they're like, okay, yes. And at some point, I guess, like, you know, Patavian revolted, I guess, so they took that as back as well. I'll note that basically Brutii basically have a big army of mass over here as well, but, you know, they weren't really doing much. And yeah, it would have been a fun scenario basically to show off for you guys, but oh well. Stuff happens, and in this case, we won't be showing it off, unfortunately. So, I'll have to restart the campaign from the beginning where it basically was left off last time. Gaul basically holds all of northern Italy. The Seleucid Empire still exists. You know, because that's always fun to basically see. Thrace basically had, like, you know, northern Greece for the most part. And they're, you know, basically hitting the Macedons while, like, they were basically distracted by the Greeks. The Brutii are also trying to, you know, make landfall into, like, you know, the main part of Greece, but, you know, they'd only taken, like, the little settlements basically on, like, the coast. And the Britons were still, like, you know, caving in to Gaul and, like, you know, France for the most part. That's happening too. I'll note by for the most part the entire episode, Carthage didn't do a single thing, by the way, except for distract both the Julii and Scipii, I guess. To probably throw that as well. Not really sure there's much more to say. We'll just have a quick look at the map as it basically is. You can compare that if you want to, like, you know, what it basically was or could have been. Because, you know, let's be what it could have been at this point, not like what it will be. So that's where the map basically, like, you know, is right now. Spain controls Spain. Gaul basically controls southern France as well as, like, northern Italy over here. Numidia basically doesn't control anything except for, like, you know, these, like, zones over here. Carthage still has, like, Carthage. Egypt's basically on their back foot for the most part because the Seleucids basically, like, pounding down them. But Pontus have, like, turned the tables and gone after him at this point, so we might start to see, like, these summons basically fall. The Scythians basically hold, like, you know, Campus Gatai over here, as well as, you know, they're, like, summons basically over here, so they're still alive. We'll see how it basically goes. That's the thing. How will it go? Because will it end up quite different from what I basically like, saw for like the last little bit? Alright, well, this never happened basically in that playthrough I basically was watching. So, we got Dacia attacking over here in Patavium now. The Julii are basically going back after a capital over here of Retrium. The Gallic armies are sort of like descending south, so they might hit the Brutii before they have a chance to sort of like build up and sort of like fight back. And of course, like they're still being attacked over here in like, France, but in a way, like, if they keep these lands over here and start taking more, they're going to be very strong in Italy, and these are very strong lands to sort of hold, so I'm all for it if they basically take these lands and, like, have a very strong Gaul. Mechanically, they were beaten, but in this playthrough, they might survive. Over here, the Brutii are basically distracted by, like, the Greeks, so basically, Firmamen's being hit. Maybe it'll be distracted long enough to sort of lose all the cities over here, so that could happen as well. Down here, Petra's basically fallen to the, like, Seleucids, and they basically have an army basically advancing over here in Memphis. I'll note that last time they did advance here as well, the Seleucids, but, they're also being attacked by, like, both, like, the Parthians as well as Pontus basically up here, so, they essentially lost all their, like, momentum, when they basically lost all their, like, their income, I guess. And again, they're being attacked over here by a lot of armies as well, so that's happening too. This happened a few times as well, where, like, Thrace would take back their, settlement over here, Scythians would take it back from them. Maybe they'll keep having that happen again, or, maybe, like, the Macedons will basically, like, do something else. Like, Macedon obviously ended up taking this, and, like, they got pretty strong in this point after Thrace right after that, but, things can always change with the AI. And there's Spain basically coming out to say hi. This could be the one where Germanians basically beat the Amazons. But no. They still lose like half their army as always. It's just how it is. Alright, well I had to note it. The Julii had basically taken back their capital. I'll note that basically when I was basically like playing, like, watching the last playthrough, Dacia took back Patavium over here and, like, basically held on to that for a while. But them taking back their capital is also pretty good. We might see, like, the Gauls basically turn around to sort of, like, take this back, or maybe they'll do nothing, who knows. It's the AI. I would like to see him do something, though. Calvary didn't do a single thing last time, so I would like to see him do a little more and just, like, sort of stand around, but they're sort of standing around distracting Julii, so there's that. And yeah, stuff is still attacking over here. Eventually, some are all going to fall at once, probably, so that'll probably mark the end of Seleucids over here again, once and for all. No idea why they sort of march around over here doing nothing, but that's what they do. And the Brutii are still attacking the, the Greeks over here. Trying to make landfall, for the most part. Alright, so a whole lot of interesting things basically happening. First and foremost, Dacia is basically landing in northern Italy at this point. Though, the Gauls have come back to sort of like hit, like, the Julii, so they might be knocked off of, like, northern Italy once and for all, and for good. If they're basically left here in Corellis alone by themselves, they might redecide at some point where all their faction, like, members basically die. Or someone might come and kill them, who knows. Over here, Macedon's going after, like, the Greeks, so this happened a lot by where, like, they basically trade places with the Brutii, start attacking, like, the Greek cities. That might leave the Brutii basically come back over here to, like, reinforce, like, Rome, because, like, that's a lot of Gauls in their borders for the most part that they don't like want to have there. Nothing's happening over in this direction just yet. We don't see any Numidians who's attacking Carthage just yet either. And yeah, they like to march their armies around over here for some reason, Seleucids, so they might eventually start taking stuff over here, or they might lose, like, city after city after city and city. Is this all going to fall, like, one by one over here for the most part? Alright, well, Macedon has basically kicked off the Greeks, which basically means they're, like, now capable of like going after whoever they want to. Last time they went after Thrace, but they could easily go after Brutii as well. And hopefully they'll go after Brutii. I want to basically see the Brutii get like, wiped out this game, because they're always getting so strong. In all my playthroughs. AI or not. Duel have been left to sort of like, live, I guess, for now. I don't know if it, like the, Gauls are going to go after like, Pavium basically first, or, if they're going to do something else, but they're letting their wretched like, sort of state in Julian possession, so that's both good and bad, I guess, because it sort of like, distracts like, the other Romans from like defending Rome. If there's like, armies attacking Rome, the AI will basically try and defend, I think, because that's what they did last time, but perhaps they basically only have like a Retrum over here, they'll be less inclined to basically do so. Though, the Brutii might still come after because it's basically connected to their territory by like a land, like, border. That is a thing as well. I'm kind of surprised how long they're basically taking to take out the, the Gauls over here to Britain. Or like the Spanish. They have the armies to sort of easily take these settlements, but, they just haven't yet. But that'll probably come soon. Gauls living on borrowed time. They really need to like to sort of solidify their control over here, or, at least take out a Retrium. It would be fun to actually see Dacia basically make their way in here as well. So, one barbarian faction after the other basically sort of taking northern Italy. Well, this seems like it's going to repeat itself. One way or another, Macedon's going to take back its cities it lost. I don't think Thrace is in for a good time. Especially since, like, Macedon's got all its forces basically able to focus on them. Over here, nothing's really happening. Unlike the Gauls basically sort of defending itself, but, Dacia's got, like, his big, like, armies basically over here now. And they could easily pour into, like, the rest of, like, northern Italy, basically. Spain's taken Numidia over here. And Britain has got, like, both Macedonia and, like, Lebanon's basically still under siege, so they may take those as well. Or at least deny the income, basically, from these settlements, for sure. Now, over here, by the way, the Seleucids did attack, like, Alexandria a couple of times for, like, siege and stuff like that. But they never actually attacked, like, managed to, like, sort of, like, win any victories or, like, take the settlements. If they actually take these settlements, by the way, they'll actually probably survive a little bit longer to, like, inflict some damage, basically, on, like, these guys back here. I also want to note these Greeks armies here. I'll note that the Greeks basically sort of like just stay put in Pergamum, but if they actually come out to, like, do stuff, like, say, attack Peloponnesus, they might actually take that settlement and, like, make more of an inroad into Asia Minor over here. All the fun stuff they could be doing. Scythia isn't up to much. Germania basically is still, like, concentrating on Themyscira over here, because, why not? Numidia is yet to attack over here, but that could still happen too. Will this be the one? Yes, it is. So there we go. Germania is busy taking Themyscira. That's good for them because it means they'll be able to actually start, like, going after, like, other targets besides, like, Themyscira. I'm not sure if the Britons are really attacking them yet, but, they'll probably have to worry about that at some point. I'll note that right away they didn't get attacked by, like, the Britons, by the way. Like, the Britons basically, like, occupied, like, Gaul for a little bit. And only attacked them after, like, Gaul basically fallen over here in, like, France. They took their time to go after, like, Campus Numidia over here, for example. Do a little bit of damage to the Scythians. We're still seeing attacks over here, by the way, as well as, like, down here, so hopefully we'll see something happen, like, these summons falling. And, yeah, the Greek state is going after, like, the Seleucids, because why not? It would be nice to actually see the Greeks make landfall again, because, even though we've seen, like, the Greeks basically do well over here, it's not bad for me to actually see them do well. What might be Spain planning? Well, I think they're going after the British. I don't know why it's basically listed here, but probably they were basically allied to both Dacia, Germania, and, like, the House of Julii, but, because they're attacking the British, they're, like, getting having all their alliance get broken to resolve it. Anyhow, I'll note that basically, like, you know, Gaul's been divided between these two, so it's now basically a battle for, like, you know, these powers to see who basically, like, owns it right after. What's interesting is that, like, you know, Germany wasn't attacked yet, so because, like, you know, Spain's going after him right now, Britain's probably going to throw all their forces basically at them before, like, you know, they, like, pull themselves over to hit Germania. I'll note the Dacia over here is probably picking some moves. They're going after, you know, Irinium over here. The Brutii also have a big army over here near, like, Pavium, but, you know, they're probably going after Gaul more than, like, you know, the Dacians. You know, I wonder if, like, you know, Gaul may fall in, like, that previous, like, playthrough. They may survive because they got, like, you know, protectorated by, like, you know, Spain, but that may not happen this time around. I still want to see Dacia just sort of, like, you know, mop up everything over here, by the way. That's be fun to see, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Over here, by the way, I'll note that, like, you know, the Parthians took Damascus. They're currently hitting Antioch, and, well, Pontus was hitting Tarsus, but they got pushed back, I guess. Greece is still going after, like, you know, Helicarnassus, so they might take that. And, unfortunately, it seems like, you know, they're pushed off of, like, Alexandria, so they might still take something down here, but, you know, it seems it's been, like, sort of place course where, like, there's, like, you know, unable to sort of, like, make inroads, and let's get, like, you know, chopped up to pieces over here by, like, you know, the Parthian armors and stuff. Just a way for, like, you know, Seleucids, by the way. It's either, like, you know, Egypt basically kills them, or, like, you know, Parthia and Pontus kills them. Those, like, you know, AI playthroughs were, like, you know, normal and hard you saw before if you basically watched them. Those were basically, like, you know, very odd outcomes where, like, you know, Seleucid basically dominated, like, you know, the Middle East. And by the way, over here, like, Thrace is basically attacking, like, you know, the Macedonians hard, so, I'll note that Macedon sort of, like, dominated Thrace basically last time, but that may not happen this time around. They might put up more of a fight this time. Which would be fun to see. Well, I guess without the, you know, the British attacking them, the Germans are basically sort of left to sort of, like, seek out new targets. They decided that Dacia is going to be their target, and they did actually attack Dacia, like, you know, in the previous, like, you know, playthrough, but because both Britain and, like, you know, their attack on Scythians are sort of happening, they sort of were getting caved in as a result of it, but, you know, whatever. We'll see if Germany is actually able to do something, I guess, and, like, you know, be something in this game. That'd be always nice to see. Germany actually doing something, getting strong. Well, I guess there's been enough changes I have to sort of note it. The Dacians were basically pushed back from Irinium, but now the Brutii are basically going after it because, you know, it's just basically next to their territory, right? So they want to take it back. The Dacians still have their armies here, though. And it looks like they're going to go after, like, you know, Medellin over here. Which is a good pickup for them if they basically take it. Spain basically took over both of, like, you know, Lebanon and, like, Lugdunum. But where they hold is basically our question because, you know, wow, there's two Gaulish armies basically marching out of the pass over here. But, you know, it's probably likely that the British is going to push right back, you know, like, you know, and maybe take it from them. So, who knows? We'll see. I don't recognize that number, so we're just going to ignore that. I don't see any more conflict basically between, like, the Germanians and, like, you know, the Dacians, but that may resume at some point. I'll note by the way over here, the Scythians decide to go after, like, the Thrace. So if they take Campus Getae from them, then, like, you know, they might pull their attention away from, like, you know, down here. They did take back Larissa, by the way, but you know, Macedon could always rally and, you know, try and take it back. Down here, Numidia actually took back Siwa, so that's basically theirs again. And there is armies basically coming after Egypt over here, so it's possible that, like, you know, the Seleucids might be able to take these guys out before, like, you know, Egypt can basically hold on long enough for, like, these guys to sort of take all their settlements. Right now, it looks like Pontus is going to go after Tarsus. And there's still, like, this Greek army around, like, you know, Helicarnassus over here, so it's possible that could fall as well at some point. I like how strong, like, you know, Parthia's game, by the way. Parthia's, like, you know, one of your weaker factions in this game because they don't earn a lot of money, so them taking, like, Damascus, Bostra, Palmyra, Antioch. Yeah, they have all these summons for themselves. They're getting pretty strong. And they got a wonder, too. Don't forget that about this wonder. It's going to help them out a lot. Well, this is new. Crete is under attack by Macedon. Clear defeat. Well, that's an okay victory for the, Macedonians, I guess. That gives them another settlement to sort of work with, even though it's like a village settlement, for the most part. We're almost through it, I guess. Let's just let this turn end. Yes, this is what I watch every single turn. My merchants getting bought out constantly. So it looks like, the Brutii have taken out Irinium again, which means they're linked up with, like, Retrium, and they now have access to attacking your Patavium, or, like, anything over here, I guess. Now, I wonder what's going to happen with, like, Thrace over here. They have, like, this army based in Larissa now, just for, like, keep it at bay. But are they going to try, like, focus all their efforts on, like, going after the Scythians, perhaps? Is, like, the question here. The Greeks, for their part, basically decided, like, it's not worth it to sort of do anything again, so I guess they're done. Yay. I like that the Greeks actually did something now. They didn't do anything really at all, except for, like, this be, like, let's govern around our cities, I guess, for the most part. So they're doing something at least now. The Seleucids are still going after Egypt over here, so it's possible they might be able to take a settlement from, like, Egypt and, like, maybe it's, like, sort of, like, go for the rest of the cities and, like, take them all from them. If they actually secure Egypt, by the way, Seleucids, that will actually let them sort of, like, fight back against, like, both Parthia and, like, Pontus, so... They've basically lost Tarsus, by the way, so... They're now down to, like, Sidon, Jerusalem, Petra. They do have some good army to defend themselves over here, though, so there is that going for them. Numidia doesn't seem to be going after Carthage or Thapsus this time around. But they do have some armies to sort of, like, make use of. If they actually decide to go after Egypt as well, that could be interesting. Though they might go after, like, Cyrene here first, because it's basically also Egyptian. Well, much like last time, it seems the Seleucids are falling apart. Jerusalem fell to the Egyptians, and Sidon's fallen to the Parthians. They're down to Petra over here, and Helicarnassus over here. By the way, note the Macedonian army next to Rhodes. Interesting place for it, don't you think? I'll note that it seems like, Macedon's more interested in, like, the Thrace right now, though. They've taken back Larissa over here. Though they do have some plague issues, as well as, like, plague all the way up here as well. Thrace seems more interested in sort of taking back their summit over here, so they're not really, like, paying attention to, like, what Macedon's basically doing down here, I guess. Now, it is worth noting that the Seleucids are trying to fight back as much as possible over here. They're attacking Alexandria, so they might be able to take it, because, it's still connected to, like, Petra, so they'll keep going after it as long as, like, they're able to sort of touch it. Numidia might jump into the fray here as well, so that could be interesting. I have no idea why their army's basically over there, like, camped out, but okay. As always, nothing's basically happening over in Sicily, or in, like, Corellis. Carthage isn't being attacked over here, though, so they're still able to fund their armies and sort of, like, maintain their sort of, like, progress over here, I guess, of, like, nothingness. This sort of, like, stalemate, I guess. There's been some battles between, like, the Britons and, like, Spain over here. They did take back Lebanon, the British did, but, basically, like, Spain basically took back Lebanon basically after they attacked it, so it's just sort of back and forth. And why is there a Germanian army over here, I wonder? Odd. Now, I will know about Germania, by the way. They're attacking Dacia over here, and they've taken, Campus Easygaze over here. It's possible to go after some more summons over here as possible as well, so you might see the Germanians actually get into, like, if a scuffle of, like, the Dacians, like, a little bit more over here. Maybe, possibly to, like, the Roman, like, areas down here as well. In the Roman areas down here, note that Gaul's basically down to their last summit, so this actually happened last time as well, where they basically, like, regulated to, like, Segesta before they basically, like, give a protector status from, like, Spain. But Spain's not around to sort of save them this time around, so it's possible these guys might, like, wipe them out, or someone else might wipe them out. Julia just sort of hang on here in the Retrium, not doing anything, I guess. The Brutii did have some armies around here, but, I guess they're moving our armies basically elsewhere for now. Or down to their capital, again, because why not? That's always a place for them, I guess. Will anything happen over here, I wonder? If you want to ask who struck first, it was the Brutii. Well, I don't think Dacia is going to be long for this world, but they do have some armies over here to sort of mix it up with. So it's possible they might be able to do something. It'd be cool, like, you know, a retro may basically fall at some point, but, you know, Gaul basically has to send their armies basically to do it, or something else basically happen for that to happen, so... You know, with these armies basically, like, you know, sort of massed over here, I don't think they're going to be moving around too much. They're still trying. They pulled back. At least this guy's moving over here, I guess, a little bit. There's no one in there. Well, I think the Seleucids are done for if, like, you know, the Parthians decide to take that settlement from them. I mean, I had to show it next turn, so yeah. They just walked right in and took it. Because they left, like, you know, no garrison there. Which basically means that these armies down here aren't really going to do anything, because, I don't think, like, you know, the AI will basically declare siege on, like, a city. Unless they have, like, a, you know, adjacent province, or, like, you know, sea access. So yeah, I think the Seleucids are done. Oh well, they tried. I do like how strong Parthia looks still, by the way. They could actually be a threat to, like, Egypt or, like, Pontus at this point. And the Parthians are allied to both of them. They are more of, like, the Scythians, though. They're going after Capitolani. Well, I guess the Scythians are going to be, like, you know, facing their wrath instead. Well, this might be it for Gaul. The Dacians decide to make a move on them. If they take out, like, you know, Segesta over here and take out the Gauls, they'll just be down the Romans. And they're already at war with the Romans, so they won't have to basically ask about that. I'm not sure they're at war with anyone else, by the way, so they'll probably focus all their efforts on the Romans too. Well, they're at war with Germania, I guess, you know, so there is that as well, but I don't think they're going to march all the way up here, so, like, these settlements are up here. And unless, like, Germania basically marches down to them, I don't think, like, you know, they're going to be seeing much conflict. They're probably going to lose these settlements over here, by the way, because, like, they're sort of, like, you know, far away from this action over here, but, you know, that's just how it goes. And yeah, by the way, over here, like, you know, Spain's attacking over here, Spain's attacking over here. Spain taking back in Lebanon. Just, you know, back and forth. And of course, allies and ceasefires and stuff like that. Oh, these guys ceasefired. So who's Parthia going to go after? That's the question. If Parthia goes after Egypt and, like, you know, Pontus over here, they could get very big if they do it correctly, so who knows? Well, I guess one way or the other, Numidia's going to go after, like, you know, Carthage over here. Now, they'll probably take these, like, settlements over here pretty easily because, you know, Carthage is basically more invested in sort of defending themselves against, like, you know, July or Scipii threats over here. So, that'll be a nice, like, game for, like, the, you know, Dominions over here for sure. If they actually attack over here as well, that'd be great for them too, but, will they attack is the thing, right? And Seleucus is waiting to die. As are the Greeks for the most part. And the Gauls. And this is where we're going to end it. Faction destroyed Gaul. It could have been different. It could have been very different. But instead we're going to have, like, you know, Dacia being over here and over in Italy. I don't think I've ever seen Dacia get over here, by the way. That's very new. But, you know, I enjoy it, nonetheless. And, you know, ceasefires are declared, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, Seleucid Empire declared, you know, doesn't matter. They're too far away to really matter. Numidians bring up forces to go after Carthage, of course. They're still, like, you know, battling it over here. Well, they're sieging, like, you know, Massilia over here. They have a little battle over here, of course, but I mean, for most part, it seems like, you know, the British are sort of pushing back Spain again. Until they rally more troops, basically, to sort of defend themselves. Oh yeah, Thessalonica fell to the Macedonians in, like, you know, the last little brief thing there. So, it's possible, like, you know, Macedon may still go after, like, Thrace and take back their settlements and get quick strong. And with this army over here, perhaps they'll go after, like, Rhodes at some point as well. That'd be nice, like, you know, pick up for them. Well, we'll leave her here. And just to note that, yeah, Germany's taking a Christian base here. But yes, we'll leave her here. That's what it basically looks like for now. Basically British attacking, like, you know, Spain over here, Germany attacking over here, Plague over here all over the place. A revolt basically in Helicarnassus. It could have been very different. Last time I had, like, you know, the Scythians get wiped out. I had, like, you know, the Seleucids get wiped out. Thrace got wiped out. But this time around, well, the Seleucids still buckled, but I mean, Gaul was the one wiped out. I'm kind of, like, you know, mixed on this opinion, by the way. I kind of like the idea of having Gaul basically over here, but this is not a bad thing to have over here, I guess. Take care, all.